Hello, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. I do appreciate it, and I would ask you to please like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you for doing so. What I've got behind me today is a Browning Bighorn two-room tent. Listed dimensions are 10 by 15. If I understand correctly, it's made by Alps for Browning, and I just put this up the day before filming this video, and overall I'm reasonably impressed with the quality of it. Pretty positive thoughts on it right now. I will say, just put it up, like I say, yesterday, and I don't know how it'll do long term. However, I think it should do reasonably well. I got it because we'd tried that core extended dome 16 by 910, and we weren't pleased with it, and felt like maybe it had some manufacturing issues, so we wound up and sent it back. And you can watch that video to kind of get more of my thoughts there. But I'll tell you a few things that I've noticed about this tent initially. Kind of contrast it quality wise with that core tent that we had tried. First off, just in putting it up, I noticed like the walls, the support pieces that hold the roof, okay, are steel posts. You have 6 steel posts, and it actually appears that they have steel cable in them, okay. So they're fairly substantial. The roof structure is actually has fiberglass posts through that, and they're fairly substantial fiberglass posts, and they're shock corded, okay. And you will note on that roof when they're color coded, so you'll know that the 2 black ones that make the X across there, they go through the ones with the black trim, and then the gray one that goes across, it has gray trim, okay. I make it a little easier. So you put that roof together, then you lift it up, and it's got it's got brackets at each corner, and one in the middle and one on the other side in the middle, and it simply you simply put the roof ones into the one end, and the wall post into the other, and it makes for a fairly substantial structure. Then you put your rain fly on. Your rain fly buckles in at each corner, and one on the front and one on the back also, and also you've got a couple of ties and Velcro to hold them also around the pole. I didn't even tie this thing out, tie that fly out, because it just feels fairly substantial without doing that. And there's no real wind right now, so overall I'm reasonably impressed. Notice this does have a bathtub style floor in contrast to that core extended dome that we had tried. Also, the fabric is more of a tent fabric on the floor that does appear to have a coating of some type on it. Also, a coating appears to be on the rain fly also, and also the seams appear to be taped. We're on that core tent. I noticed that was more of a tarp style floor, similar to that tarp there in feel that I've got this tent setting on. So just overall, this seems to be of better quality. At least that's my impression and opinion of it. All right. Also, the corner points where this thing fastens to the post or comes to the ground is actually reinforced with an extra layer of material. Okay. The doors, you can see the doors, you can roll them back, and actually they have a tie on them to hold them in place if you want to leave it open. That divider that is in the middle, it actually does not come out, but it's got a zipper in the middle that you can zip it open or closed. And if you leave it open, you can roll it back and you can tie it there to hold it out of the way. And it also has pockets on it, so if you want to put something in the pocket. Then you have tremendous headspace in this very tall tent, and in the middle you have a couple of places, one on each side of that divider, that you can hang something if you need to. And the front side of this tent and the back side of this tent are basically the same, okay. You've got a door, it's right here on this side the way I've got it set up, and then the door on the back side is over there. So each room, if you had that divider closed, each room could have a door to the outside, okay? You know, keep in mind that's just a thin piece of fabric, so in there that divides it, but still, you know, you could use it and, you know, have a little bit of privacy there to some degree. Now, you do have windows on both doors, and a window on the front and on the back, and then on the ends. They have mesh netting. It seems to be a fairly small, fine mesh. I don't know what size, but it seems, I think if I remember correctly, it may be smaller than what was on that core, but I'm not sure. Okay, but it is fairly fine, which is a good thing, a plus in my book. And overall, I'm reasonably impressed with it right now. Time will tell the tale as to how it holds up. The zippers seem to be a reasonable quality. Again, you know, and this, I'm not saying that this tent's perfect by any means. I'm not calling it spectacular or anything like that. I'm just saying it seems to be, compared to that core, seems to be noticeably better, and seems to be overall pretty good quality. Now it is noticeably more money and all, but I think it will last at least a little while and provide some good service. You know, and like I say, time will tell. Anyways, those are kind of my initial thoughts on this tent. I will tell you that I took my time and laid this tent out, and I spent around an hour putting it up. Now, hey, that's me being very meticulous, you know, particularly I wanted to make sure I understood how it went together, and I took my time, I did it right, and you know, I laid everything out, made sure everything was there, and you know, I did it kind of textbook, more or less, I guess you could say. And now I'm sure could put it up considerably quicker. You know, I don't know. I expect a couple of people working I don't know. If I had to guesstimate, maybe 15 minutes, you know, give or take a few. You know, and who knows, somebody could do it quicker. It might take me longer, I don't know. But anyways, just kind of my 2 cents on it. But overall, I'm reasonably impressed with it at the moment. And I'll give you a quick gander of it to kind of give you a better idea. I put my cot in there and all, and that'll give you an idea how, I think you could put 4 cots in there, one at each end fairly well. And I think if you moved one over from where the door is, you could still get in and out all right and still have space between the cots, you know. So you know, of course, you may prefer our mattress or whatever the case, but it's reasonably roomy tent. So anyways, keep in mind front and the back basically the same. Your door there on this side, door there on the other side. Kind of show you here, got your rain fly here, you know, kind of comes out and covers the edge of the door a little bit. Got a little fiberglass pole that holds it out. You can see what I mean. You've got good thick fiberglass poles up here, and they run into this bracket. I like the way they did this bracket. Now, I'll give you a little hint. If this ever needed to be replaced, see, you could untie this and you could get another one. If you could get one from them, not sure whether you can or not. You could just you know, tie it back on. You know, that's a nice little touch. And you know, you see how it velcros on there and it ties up there. You got your buckle, it just clips in right there, you know. And you know, that's a plastic buckle. If it broke though and you still had the strap, you could just tie it in here if you absolutely had to, or perhaps you could replace the buckle. You got a zipper along the bottom, and then another zipper here. Okay, slip my shoes off and we'll just step inside for a moment. Say, plenty of headroom. Come in the door, you immediately, you can stand straight up. And think about what the difference that makes. Let's say you come in here, say if you need to change clothes, or you just needing to stretch or walk around, just wanting some room. Just makes things more convenient, and allows you to, with the walls being straighter, so you can get up nearer to the walls without touching them. You've got your divider in here, pockets, and then the pockets on that side there. okay? And see, you've got little ties to hold them. And I like this. You don't even have to tie on this end. They put a little toggle. You know, that's nice. Got your windows here. Zip open, close, zip, and they do so fairly easily, okay? Now, I will say there is not a tie anywhere here that I can find on this. I haven't noticed just one. No, there's not one. Now, that would leave it hanging, but hey, you know, they can't think of everything, I guess. Anyways, folks, but you know, you got net mesh on the top. And like I say, seems to be a fairly fine mesh, which I appreciate, because you know, here in the South we've got a ton of insects and all. But look here, I've got this cot in here, and kind of step back, give you a better view. All right, that divider would close just fine. I've still got a couple inches there between there and the wall up there, and you could put another cot over here and then do the reverse on this other side. But what I would do is probably just step over just a foot or two, put the cot, and then leave room for the door. Okay, you know, you can figure it out, but good room in here. Let me show you. These edges are reinforced, these corners. This is that extra piece of fabric I may have mentioned, see? And notice it appears taped over these seams. Real nice, and you can feel a certain texture to this floor, like it's got a coating, and you can also feel it on that rain fly, so that's a plus. How well it works, if it's actually a coating, I don't know, but it feels like there is one, which is a plus. I will make a note for anybody that's worried about being able to run an electric cord in or out, okay? Something I want you to note. It does not technically, that I can find, have one of those ports, okay? I know that's real popular. I'm not really concerned about it though, but what I want to show you is, even though this technically doesn't have one, it does have one in a sense. Because look at here, you've got a flap right here at the corner. Now see, this bottom portion runs on one zipper and this other portion runs on another. So you could zip it down and leave yourself just space enough to let a cord in or out. Really, I like to keep, I'd keep it pretty snug, and I wouldn't try to run a cord in or out. You know, we got a lot of creepy crawlies in this part of the country. But anyways, folks, but I think that'll seal up fine. And overall, I'm pretty pleased. You know, I couldn't nitpick them. I mean, see, you know, right there you can see the light where they stitched this on. They maybe could have stitched this on a little bit, but keep in mind, this is under the fly, and this is actually that extra piece of material, okay, for the reinforcement. Right there's one little spot they might have done a little better job there, but very minimal. I'm just not noticing major issues that jump out. I will tell you, there were a lot of loose threads laying in the packaging, but overall, seems to be pretty good. And we'll see. Time will tell, and see how it holds up and lasts. And at some point we get some use out of it, I'll try to give you a little update on it and let you know what my thoughts are later on. You know, I will tell you, I noticed that the price on this tent seems to fluctuate a little bit, and you know, and so do check around, and don't get in a big hurry on it. If you go looking for it, give yourself a chance to look around for deals. You know, that's one thing I've noticed on a lot of things and all. But hey, overall, initial impressions pretty positive. Not spectacular, but pretty good. Okay, I'm reasonably impressed with it thus far, at least initial impression wise. Well, again, folks, I do thank you for viewing this video. I do ask you to please like, subscribe, and share. I know everybody asks that, and I'm just now beginning to understand, recognize the significance of that, and I want to be better myself about doing that for folks, and I would ask you to do that for me if you would, please. And I do thank you so very much, and wish you all the best. Y'all take care.